Hello dear friends, welcome to this strategy session for GS paper 3, especially science and technology. I will be uh, explaining how to master science and technology topic of your GS paper 3 for the mains 2018. Hope you all maybe have started your hardcore preparation for the mains 2018 test series and other various activities related to current affairs and all those, how to learn, what is the perspective you have to take place, you have to take, etc. So for science and technology, it explicitly comes in your paper 3, GS paper 3, where you have economic development, you have environment, you have agriculture, along with security, internal security, cyber security, border security, etc. You need to learn about technologies, what all are the technological advancements that are being made, etc. So this is a very generalistic paper for GS3. We have a scope of scoring much marks if we learn certain things, if we observe certain things. So mains is all about observations and analysis. So you don't need to take a PhD on any particular topic. You don't need to have a deep technical knowledge of any topic, but you need to know the various aspects, its implications, its effects and applications. How can it be implemented for eliminating various issues that are pertaining in our country. So particularly for science and technology 2018, I will be giving the strategy session, and obviously it is a very hardcore fact that syllabus is the key. So syllabus, you should thoroughly brand in your mind, in your brain. You should know what are the syllabus, what is the syllabus, not the exact words, but you need to know the ideology behind the syllabus given, what words they have used, what kind of a word, what are they intending or inferring from that. We need to take, we need to reckon from that. So syllabus is the main key for this, for every paper, including this GS3, and not just a whole just an overview of the syllabus. No, you need to know each and every line, each and every expression or phrase given in the syllabus. I will explain about the various syllabus topics that you have to categorize into. So each section must be branded in your mind, as I said. And see, there are three main topics in science and technology for GS3. Three main topics you have to learn under three headings or three compartments. So see, what are the three topics? You have the everyday science and technology. Every now and then we have various uses of science and technology throughout the year. If we compare different things, if we compile different things, you can see various day-to-day topics, day-to-day applications, etc. For example, IRNSS has been the point of contention of UPSC since 2014, I hope, 2015, I hope, because every year they have been asking the same, the same IRNSS and the different applications, the different uses and different technicalities of it in different versions, including mains and prelims. Even 2018 we had last month, this June 3rd exam, we had a question on IRNSS. What different kind of a perspective we can have on IRNSS. That kind of things is obvious ones, because those kind of advancements India has made. It's a very staggering one, because it is one of the breakthrough event that we had. Not much countries have attained this kind of technology. So that kind of technologies where we have made a breakthrough, that kind of things you need to know a wide range of points to incorporate in your answer. So first one is day-to-day topics. It doesn't mean only Indian, it can be global, it can be any particular region wise. For example, any technology that have been developed in the European Union or the US or North Korea or South Korea, etc. We have heard of South Korea testing phones and different gadgets of 7G, 7th generation. We are still on 3rd generation and 4th generation, right? So that kind of things we can expect certain questions, because we have launched GSAT 6A, which is explicitly for communications and 4G communications. So 4G communication has still yet to be implemented throughout, penetrated throughout. So that kind of a prediction we have to make. Other countries, we are still lingering on 4th generation or 3rd generation still, but many countries like South Korea, etc., Japan are testing their equipments, testing their devices in 7th or 8th generation. So that kind of a question, how we can implement, what are what are the consequences of lagging behind communication, etc. So these kind of things you can expect, you have to expect these kind of, because it is very generalistic, and all those points which are swaying around in the atmosphere, you can pick it out and then write your answer. You don't have a particular book or particular textbook for reading science and technology, only the basics. I'll tell how to learn the basics also. So first one is about day to day. It can be global, it can be any regional, as well as Indian technology. Second one is about particularly Indian technology, Indian science and technology. What are the advancements made by India? What are the breakthrough inventions? What are the breakthrough applications we have made? For example, IRNS's question will come in the second topic of the science and technology, because it is particularly mentioning Indian achievements. What all are the different space applications and its effects on socio-economic condition of the people, the standard of living, the quality of living, the communication arena, etc. So it is particularly concentrating on Indian version. Third one is about some specific areas. There are some specific areas directly mentioned in your syllabus, like space, nanotechnology, biotechnology, etc. So these kind of areas, at least by the name you can Google it. Space applications, different space projects of NASA, ESA, ISRO, etc. You have to make notes of that. Anyway, we will be providing material for that, but updation is required. So these kind of, I told you, syllabus is the key. You have to brand it in your mind, and each and every word should be extrapolated, and you should have at least one page of note, one paper of note of every topic mentioned. So no need to have any deeper knowledge. We don't want a PhD, in fact, but the basic significance and its applications on different aspects of the society, different aspects of an economy. For example, it can be something related to blockchain technology. Now this year we have a high chance of asking blockchain technology, because it appeared in prelims. There was a match the following question. So blockchain technology can be used to increase transparency, because it is very transparent in nature. We can track anyone, not track anyone, but we can know the entire process if you are one of the user. That is why cryptocurrencies are using this blockchain technology, because every user can know the entire link. That is why it is called, that is why it is being used in various applications we are thinking of using, Indian government. So that kind of things, you need to know the different applications, implications, effects on various aspects of our country, like economy, governance, administration, poverty alleviation, agriculture, market, etc. So the applications, again, these applications, you have to know how you will know which all are the aspects of Indian society. See, all the GS4 topics 1, 2, 3, 4 are specifically mentioning the various aspects of a society. First one is particularly mentioning society. Second one is about our governance, polity, and international relations, etc. Third one is economy, agriculture, environment. So all the aspects are mentioned in your syllabus itself. So it is spread out across all the papers. So a particular science and technology, for example, stem cell therapy, how it can have an impact on these different topics. So you have to select which all are the aspects: society, health, education, etc. So have a broad mind, have a broad thinking, a process that you have to incorporate. So this is the syllabus actually. Technology, that is a heading given in our syllabus, UPSC syllabus. So first one, as I mentioned, this science and technology developments and their applications and effects in everyday life. So this particular science and technology, the first topic of the science and technology can be anything. It can be about stem cell therapy, which is a health topic. It can be about a nuclear technology, which is an energy security topic. It can be anything related to space also, a general question, not particularly mentioning India. For example, Juno mission was asked in 2017. So Juno mission is particularly, it's a topic that is science and technology, which helps in how, the question was how it will help in studying the origin of universe, and how it will have an impact on the study researches that have been done to learn the origin of earth and different minerals. So that kind of questions definitely will have an impact on this first topic. So you have to go from topics to the syllabus, questions to the syllabus. Second one, achievements of Indian science in science and technology, indigenization of technology and developing new technology. So this second one is particularly mentioning about Indian aspect. So what are the Indian advancements in science and technology, how we are catering to the different demands of different aspects of society. For example, health needs higher technology inventions, interventions. We have seen many yojanas, many schemes where science and technology has to be incorporated into the health system in India, so that getting deeper penetration of this health into different people's, last mile connectivity, etc. We have seen about LEDs, we have seen about various non-conventional energy sources, etc. So how they are, how breakthroughs are giving rise to this kind of particular, vulnerable society areas, etc. So how we can implement those kind of things. So this second one is particularly of Indian aspect. Third one, awareness. This is specific. Third one is specific. So awareness in the field of IT, space, computer, robotics, nanotechnology, and biotechnology. These 5 areas are given directly by the UPSC. I am telling, trust my words, at least if you make notes of IT as separate, space as separate, computers separate, robotics, nanotechnology, etc., you can score marks, because many questions are there. We'll go through some of the questions, previous year questions. We can see direct questions have been asked. Direct question on nanotechnology. What is nanotechnology? Why is nanotechnology one of the revolutionized aspect of technology that can that can implement, that can have a very far ending consequences? So these kind of questions directly they are asking directly. If we know few words about nanotechnology, we can incorporate in our answers. So these 5 areas will be the core of science and technology modules, and plus various updations, various space missions, etc. We'll try to cover almost all, and now we will solve some questions that was asked in previous year. We'll start with 2017 question. 2017 question was: stem cell therapy is gaining popularity in India to treat a wide variety of medical conditions, including leukemia, thalassemia, damaged cornea, and severe burns. Describe briefly what stem cell therapy is and what advantages it has on the other treatments, other kind of treatments. So this, if we divide this question into various headings, see stem cell therapy. The first they are giving a statement: stem cell therapy is gaining popularity in India to treat a wide variety of medical conditions, and examples are given. So they are giving us examples. We just need to extrapolate that. Describe briefly what stem cell therapy is. I've told you, they are just asking the definition. What is stem cell therapy? What all are the applications? We have already seen some of the applications. They are given: leukemia, thalassemia, damaged cornea, and severe burns. So what is stem cell therapy? How these stem cell therapies have been gaining popularity in India in the recent years? What all are its global advancements? How different parts of the world have been successfully using stem cell therapy to treat various diseases. Now they are saying, we know that from non-serious diseases to life-threatening ones, we can treat almost 80 to 90 diseases, very far-ending, hardcore diseases using stem cell therapy. So these kind of questions are just direct. You don't see any twist in that. So you can write here what is stem cell therapy. You know what is the technicality of stem cell therapy: taking stem cells from umbilical cord or the bone marrow of an adult, umbilical cord from a child, newborn baby, or from, if it is from adult, then from bone marrow. That stem cells can have regenerative capacities. It can regenerate into any of other organs of that particular human being. So what, it can have its own transplantation by generating from that kind of a cell. So this is what stem cell therapy is. What is the source of stem cell therapy? From where it is taken? Umbilical cord and bone marrow. Leukemia is blood cancer. The major cause of that is gene mutation in the bone marrow, because bone marrow is where the blood is produced, white blood cells and RBCs. So from there, if we transplant that bone marrow using this stem cell therapy, stem cell is, it can be used to regenerate bone marrow. So a new set of bone marrow, or completely new bone marrow, can be transplanted into that particular human being, then making him cancer free. So these kind of things, if you have a wide knowledge, if you can link all the topics, all the knowledge you have, then you can score this mark more than 50%. Obviously you can score for this particular question. Second one, India has achieved remarkable success in unmanned space missions, including the Chandrayaan and a Mars orbiter mission, but has not ventured into manned space mission, both in terms of technology and logistics. Explain critically. Now this particular question, see, the question itself is a negative one, because they are telling that we had lots of successes on Mars orbiter mission and Chandrayaan. Even Chandrayaan 2 is being planned. We have plans to launch Aditya, which is a solar probe. We have plans to send probe to Venus and other deep mission space mission, but not yet we didn't send up any manned space mission. So they are asking why, what all are the complications, what all are the issues that makes manned space mission difficult in India. You can first tell that yes, we have lots of successes. We had lots of very much reasonable cost have been spent to in an organization like ISRO, compared to other countries like NASA and ESA have spending billions of US dollars, but compared to that 1:10 ratio we are spending, and we are reaching almost that level of their explorations, but still we have not yet reached at a conclusion where a manned space mission will be launched. So why? What all are the reasons? We don't, maybe lack of technology, maybe we have GSLV and all those very far-ending rocket launch, but we don't have something which can be used to send man to the space. We don't have that kind of a technology, or we should buy from someone, which is again costly. The budget doesn't allow that. So we are still on the verge of developing such kind of technologies like crew escape mission, because wherever there is a manned mission, that particular space shuttle should have a crew escape technology. So that kind of technologies we are yet to develop. So we have to wait till that. But what ISRO is telling about this, ISRO wants to cater the demands, the current immediate demands of communication, lack of navigation, lack of resource locating satellites, etc., observatory satellites. That those are the current demands which are having direct impact on the people of India. So there was a question also how India's space mission have been helping, or have been giving good impact on this socio-economic life of people. So that is another version of this question. That question is the answer of this one. How is India's space missions helping for improving the socio-economic life of people? How quality of life? We can say examples of GSAT satellites. GSAT satellites are particularly for communication. So communication satellites we are using 4G now. We are using 4G or 3G. Why? Because we are upgrading our communication satellites. So those kind of urgent demand is being lingering inside various parts of the country, including the real-time locator, the tracking of train, aircraft, and shipping, etc. We have GPS technology. We are having our own Desi GPS technology now. Navic, maybe this year it will be functionalizing. So that kind of recent, urgent, immediate requirements are there, which has to be first fulfilled, and then only we should try for a manned mission, which manned mission will particularly concentrate on studying on the origin of universe or origin of earth, etc., solar system, etc. So those doesn't have a direct impact on the people. So these kind of points you can incorporate in these kind of questions, which the reader or the examiner will not have a negative impact on that. So this kind of negative impression on us. So have a good unbiased answer always. Third one, give an account of the growth and development of nuclear science and technology in India. What is the advantage of fast breeder reactor program? This is actually energy security, but still the question is having an orientation towards science and technology. The technology speaking is nuclear science and technology in India. So we have lots of we have the BARC, we have even different countries are helping us in various nuclear doctrines. Japan is there, US is there, Germany is there, etc. So how what and they are asking particularly what are the advantages of fast breeder reactor program. It is having an advanced moderator or coolant, etc. It reduces the risk of nuclear leak, etc. Because we had 1984 Bhopal gas strategy, so and recently in Fukushima, Japan also. So they are aware of their own problems, security problems. So they will try to cater that. They will try to have an advanced technology on nuclear science. We are trying to get that technology from different countries. So these kind of questions can be answered in a multiple, broad-minded way. But this second one, what is the advantage of fast breeder reactor program? Particularly, you have to mention the advantages of that. But lest you can have the development of, from the starting itself you can mention different examples. Recently we had the cold experiment, right? Bark have been thinking of revitalizing their own cold fusion experiment. Fusion needs high temperature to happen, that is why fusion is not viable, but Bark is now trying to develop this cold fusion at room temperature, that is fusion conducting at room temperature. Now what is the advantages of fusion reaction? This cannot be questioned this time. Fusion reaction, about the viability of fusion reaction, because we had the news on Bark revamping their own cold fusion experiment. So this kind of predictions you can have, you can learn, you can have note down some points relating to that. Now how you learned in prelims, just have the same things, you just have or prepare some applications or impacts, or your own suggestions. So these kind of points you can help you. Next one is 2016 mains. Give an account of the current status and the targets to be achieved pertaining to renewable energy sources in the country. Discuss in brief the importance of national program on light emitting diodes. We have the Ujala scheme, etc. So they are particularly concentrating to have energy efficient devices or equipment. We have the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, we have EESL, Energy Efficiency Service Limited, etc. under the Ministry of Power. So what they are trying to develop new technologies which will be energy efficient, less consumption and more output. So that kind of things you can write. About LEDs, light emitting diodes, which is so far so now this is the least power consuming technology. So you can have some examples of the solar dome, etc., the Surya Jyoti. So all these government ventures you can write down. You can have some technicality explaining what are the functions of LED, how it can be used in different applications, not just lighting, but in TVs, in screens, in mobile phones, etc. So second one, second one is about India's achievement in the field of space, science and technology, how the application of this technology has helped India in the socio-economic development. Now if you refer this 2016 question before referring 2017, you can know the two differences. See, in 17 we had why India is not planning for a manned space mission. In 2016 there was a prerequisite for that question. Discuss India's achievement in space science and technology, how this application has helped India in the socio-economic development. So if you know that kind of a question has already been asked, if you had the explanation of that is the answer to the next question. So same way you can relate, you can if you have 5 to 10 years mains questions in your mind, and what all are the ideologies behind that, you can still answer that 2018 mains. That's what I say. So this kind of question, we have different communication satellites. You have Earth observation satellite, you have the IRNSS, you have Cartosat, Astrosat, etc. for mapping and geography, etc. Many colleges and universities are sending their own satellites. PSLV have been facilitating that. Our 104 satellites was a record-making breakthrough. Many university satellites were there. Kalam Sat is an example for that. So these kind of questions you can incorporate, and how it will help the socio-economic development of India. So it is very broad question, very generalistic question. You can definitely, you need to give examples of everyone, because each and every question that we are discussing, if examples are there, then it will fare good marks. Why is nanotechnology one of the key technologies of the 21st century? See, the direct from the syllabus they are asking, why is nanotechnology one of the key technologies of 21st century? Describe the salient features of Indian government's mission on nanoscience and technology and the scope of its application in the development process of the country. So two parts, they are asking, why is nanotechnology the most breakthrough technology of 21st century? So you need to first line introduction, you can write what is nanotechnology, what all are the applications, how it will help in we can say energy saving, energy efficient technology. It is very less expensive, it is very cheap, because nanomaterials are if once manufactured, it can have very less cost, maintenance cost, etc. There are many materials which can be incorporated into nanotechnology. So these are the reason for the question why nanotechnology is one of the key technologies. Second one, what all are the Indian missions? What are the Indian missions to incorporate nanotechnology in our various development process? Again, you can fetch many examples. Many missions are there. Nanotechnology, we have the FRP material, fiber reinforced polymer, and many other nano composites, carbon composites, etc. You can mention, list out many examples, and then how Indian government will have a mission which will implement this nanotechnology in various areas, various sectors. So this kind of questions is very simple, very much generalistic, and examples plus recent initiatives will fetch you marks. 2015 we have a question again on IR analysis. This question is a little bit of technology wise, but if you read it 2 or 3 times you can answer it. What do you understand by standard positioning systems and precision positioning systems in the GPS era? Discuss the advantages India perceives from its ambitious IRNSS program employing just see how much times you are seeing since 2015 they have been asking about IRNSS. So again still we can predict, because it was there in 2018 prelims also. We can predict, definitely we can predict, because every year we have some advancement, some next step we have achieved all those step by step success. So that is why this kind of topics, this kind of questions have prominence. So again this is technical question. You can if you know the IRNS is something of 7 constellations and different orbits are there, and what will be the function of that, covering India as well as border countries, and we'll have our own, we don't have to depend on other nations, etc. And just explain about standard positioning systems and precision positioning systems. Standard positioning means an overall how we will have this we have the Google Maps, etc. How this kind of positioning system can be incorporated for the users, general users. And precisioning position, that is particularly for military purposes and government purposes, which won't be open to the common man. So that is precision positioning with very less errors and etc. So these kind of you can guesswork, you can even do guesswork on these kind of questions. Second one is, what are the areas of prohibitive labor that can be sustainably managed by robots? Discuss the initiatives that can propel research in premier research institutes for sustainable and gainful innovation. So again, prohibitive labor, what is prohibitive labor and how can robots be incorporated into this prohibitive labor? Now prohibitive labor are those where certain kind of labor where some sections of the people are not meant to do job or do work. For example, child labor, manual scavenging, etc. So those are not desirable actually. So that kind of wherever there is child labor or manual scavenging, or wherever there humans doesn't have a desire to work, how can robots be implemented there? So this kind of a question is very, it will emphasis, it will enhance your thinking process during the exam. So that is what UPSC wants. By giving a question abruptly to you, how will you expand your brain, how will you expand your thinking process and incorporate various examples or initiatives in this? This kind of questions again is very generalistic. I've told you, science and technology, if you just have a habit of reading Hindu newspapers, science monitors, and some part of your daily life to science, to learn some science topics is enough for you, and how it can be applied to various aspects. So that is what GS3 science and technology is all about. Third question, discuss the advantages and security implications of cloud hosting of servers vis-a-vis in-house machine-based hosting in government businesses. Now this question they have asked two things. In-house machine inbuilt, that means making our own server. For example, a government building has its own server, and then hosting or making it as a database to store all the activities of that particular building or particular organization. And it is being compared with cloud hosting. Now cloud hosting is in the air. Cloud hosting is, the technological things about that. Cloud hosting means storing in the clouds, means it will be stored in air, it will be stored in a network or an internet network. So it has lots of security breach problems, security issues, which we have to fulfill. So they are asking, discuss the advantages and security implications. So both positive and negative have been asked, advantages as well as security implications of the cloud hosting. So you have to write the positive and negatives of cloud hosting in comparison with the house machine based hosting system. So currently conventional form of hosting system is in based. like house based. We have many servers, we have learned about supercomputers, etc. Every organization has its own servers, but now that having moving away and transforming to a cloud hosting server system. So cloud hosting server system is advantageous. It is cheap, it is very it can be penetrated, or it can be accessible to any part of the country or wherever we want. We don't need a server everywhere. We just want to have an account in the cloud server system, etc. So those are the advantages. What are the security implications? Security implications can be like it is security issues, cyber attacks, hacking, cracking, etc. Security breach can be done, where, for example, this question is particularly concentrating on Aadhaar issue, because our Aadhaar is stored in servers. And recently Niti Aayog chairman had told, vice chairman had told about how the protection of Aadhaar data are done. They have multiple layers of protection for a particular building is there, and multiple layers of protection is being incorporated. And he also mentioned that it will take ages for any hacker to try to breach into that. So this kind of things can be avoided while using cloud hosting, because if we have a high security cloud hosting system, that kind of technology, if it is developed in India, then we can save time and money on saving these kind of data in a particular building. So these are the advantages and security implications or security problems, and so it needs a critical analysis. So that is how it is very easy, achievable kind of a paper, this GS3. Fourth question, India's traditional knowledge digital library, TKDL, which has a database containing formatted information on more than 2 million medical formulations, in providing a powerful weapon in the country against erroneous patents. Discuss the pros and cons of making this database publicly available under open sourcing licensing. Now this traditional knowledge digital library is same as that of impact that we have learned about, a database where many medical formulations, traditional medical formulations, and their chemical compositions are being given in this database. So we can have different drug formulations using this traditional medicines or from different phytochemicals of the plants. Same way we have traditional knowledge digital library. Now this was in news where we had a fight with UK government. They had tried to attempted for a patent on a particular treatment, a particular healing technique, that but which India had since ages, because our Ayurveda is even from BC. So these kind of questions, see, it was from a news or a news heading, they framed a question. So how this TKDL can protect our different techniques or different patent techniques or different techniques which need patents from erroneous patent applications from different countries. Now British have been claiming this because they had colony in India and they learned many things from India, so that is why they are trying to have a patent on that, because it is gaining popularity in their country. So this kind of database, if it have a public reach, then we can enter many data on that. We can enter many new technologies, and many people can have an access to these kind of informations. So that is what they are asking. The second part of the question explicitly asked, discuss the pros and cons of making the database publicly available. That is what they are asking under the open source licensing. So it can have both positive. They are asking pros and cons. What are the pros and cons? You can mention it. So again, in 2014, again there was three questions. First one was about scientific research. Scientific research in Indian universities is declining because a career in science is not as attractive as our business professions, engineering or administration, and the universities are becoming consumer oriented. Critically comment. So they are asking critically comment means you have to say or mention the negative side of this. Why career in science, they are given the question, the frame, career in science is not so attractive compared to engineering or administrative or professional. Now we know career in science means it is UG, PG and PhD, and then postdoctoral courses should be done to have a good career. So why many universities are becoming consumer oriented rather than research oriented? So you can as part of a conclusion or as part of a way forward part of your answer, you can mention many PM fellowship for doctoral research is there. We have Vajra scheme and many other schemes where research initiatives are being promoted. Now, the reason for why this science research in India universities is declining, these kind of reasons you can write your own opinions by why people are attracted, because they want more salaries and more profession. They don't want, they many of them prepare a corporate life rather than a research life, which book mugger or etc. So those kind of myth etc. should be removed regarding science, because Indian government, particularly now, we as part of our Make in India and technology transfer program, we are trying to build up our own technology and scientific researches. Government is funding a lot to many universities, premier universities, to encourage scientific research and to imbibe science as a core topic in the minds of children. So these kind of questions need multiple broad visioning, because this is not particularly from any source, because wherever you can reach your brain, you can select the topic and then write in this why science is declining or why a career in science is being considered is less attractive. Can overuse and free availability of antibiotics without a doctor's prescription be contributors to the emergence of drug resistant diseases? Now this question is about drug resistance. We know the problem of antibiotics, the declining effect of antibiotics on various diseases. We know multiple drug resistant bacteria which is prevailing in many parts of the world as well as in India. So there, the first part of the question, can overuse and the availability, see, overuse and the availability of antibiotics without doctor's prescription be the contributors to the emergence of drug resistant diseases in India? Yes, that is obviously the reason, one of the key reasons why drug resistant bacteria have been multiplied on a very exponential basis. So you can address the first part of the question by yes, and then how it affects, how it leads to the production of different drug resistant diseases. So that first part. Then second part, what are the available mechanisms for monitoring and control? We have many institutions for that, we have many drug control authorities there, etc. So what all are the functions, how we can enhance their functions to have this to regulate this kind of free antibiotics without doctor's prescription. So compartmentalize, split your answer question and then answer accordingly. If you answer the question, definitely you will get marks. That is what UPSC wants. If you write different other vague things and don't mention, if you don't address the question what they have asked, then you won't score mark. Even if you write 2 lines on what are the available mechanisms for monitoring, the second part especially, you will fetch marks. Definitely you will fetch marks, trust my words. In a globalized world, intellectual property rights assume significance and are a source of litigation. Broadly distinguish between terms, copyrights, patents and trade secrets. Now these terms are there in your syllabus. If you know about, just write definitions of each and their applications, and if you have any suggestions, you can write. So that is what this question is all about. 2013. Again, see, every year we have 3 to 4 questions definitely. Even this year you can have 4 or more, because this prelims 2018 was concentrating particularly on science and technology also. We had 10 questions on science and technology, many others also, but it was in geography or economy part, but still it was a science and technology. So this year also you can expect much questions, basic questions just like this. As we have seen in 2017, etc. What do you understand by umpire decision review system in cricket? See, they have even not spared cricket. Umpire decision review system. Discuss its various components. Explain how silicon tape on the edge of a bat may fool the system. So this was in news because after one of the Asia's series between Australia and England, Australia had accused England of using the silicon tapes on the edges of their bats and pads to fool this sneakometer. Now, sneakometer is that kind of a device. Those who watch cricket will know about what is a sneakometer, what is umpire decision review system, because any small contact of the ball on bat or pad or any of the surface, it can be glove, it can be shoulders, a helmet, pad, bat, or the handle of the bat. So anywhere if there is a minute contact of the ball with that bat or pad, it will create a friction. That friction will produce a very slight amount of, they say something like 0.015 degrees Celsius temperature difference can be measured using this NICO. So by that temperature difference, they will try to review that if there is a contact being made between the ball and the bat. So that is how the keepers, if they catch, they will ask for a review, and that umpires will decide accordingly with the help of this umpire decision review system. Now, why they have Australia accused England of using silicon tapes on the edges. So what silicon tapes will do, they will cancel away or negate away the difference in temperature, because silicon is highly thermal resistant material. So any contact on the ball will not be detected by the SNICO. So that is what they had alleged, but they have told that we didn't use such any kind of things. But that UPSC made a question on that, because this was just an accusation which has not yet been proved. Because if such kind of things happened, then definitely we may all be knowing about that. But no, they didn't. They couldn't prove it, but there was an allegation, and then UPSC asked, pick that question, what is umpire, direct question. If you know about this system and the silicon tape issue, you don't even want to know about this silicon tape, because it is mentioned how silicon tape can be used to fool. So we know that silicon tape can be used to fool. Just write some of the aspects of silicon. We know silicon, it's a non-metal, it is a highly thermal resistant. Sand is made up of silicon, so it is highly thermal resistant. So that is why temperature difference can be negated, which will fall under the scanner of this NICO. So these kind of questions, definitely if you think and rethink during the exam also, you can just attempt these kind of questions. Definitely, trust my words. What is digital signature? Again, part of our Digital India. What is digital signature? What does its authentication mean? Give various salient built-in features of a digital signature. Now we have various e-attestation various e-governance applications like e-sanad is there, e-certificate is there, e-attestation is there, where we don't need to go to the particular or concerned departments to get the attestation. If you send an online application by scanning your documents and then forward it to their department, they will have a digital signature on that. So they are asking what all are the what is digital signature? Just give the definition. What does its authentication mean, and give various salient built-in features of. That's all you need to just write about what are the features of digital signature, what all are the consequences, what is digital signature, that is what your introduction should be, etc. So this particularly has an implication on Digital India platform, and even in prelims we had question on Digital India. So again, 3D printing. Next question, how does 3D printing technology work? See, basic question, how does it work? List out the advantages and disadvantages of the technology. It's just like a 10th standard question. What is 3D printing technology and what are the disadvantages and advantages and disadvantages? Even in prelims we had this question about 3D printing. 7 options were given, and what all forms had this applications of 3D printing in it. So all of the above was the answer. Same way you can predict this time also. There can be, they can ask like 3D how is 3D printing technology used in a medical field, how it can have breakthrough inventions in medical field by using 3D technology. Such and such questions can come. So what you have to do is refer the 2018 prelims question paper, refer that particular questions, 3D printing, and there many applications were given like mobile phones, GPS, health, etc. Just learn a few 2 or 3 paragraphs how 3D printing can be applied in that particular area. Now you can have 4 pages of that each applications, and definitely one question may come and you can answer it easily. Last question that have been asked in 2013, what is an FRP, fiber reinforced polymer composite material? Something related to nanotechnology again. How are they manufactured? Discuss their application. This is not a nanotechnology, but this have been in news because many researches have been done to use this fuselage of aircraft by using this FRP material, because we are using aluminium currently. So aluminium is costly as well as it has weight. So to reduce that kind of a cost and weight, and to make it more energy efficient, FRP composite material can be used. Now what all are the advantages? We know it can be lightweight, heat resistant, rigid, flexible, and it is very cheaply manufactured. Anyone can do this, and if it is used, then various other aerodynamic applications uses can be done. So you can think, make yourself into this aviation sector. You are an aeronautical engineer or something like that, and then use how FRP or how these kind of a material can have good applications on each part of this aircraft, etc. So it is very, UPSC wants you to think and think. So this is 2017 2013. I have just mentioned few questions, the questions of science and technology, and we have seen that each year there have been 3 to 4 questions, and definitely these are directly from general topics, general day-to-day science and technology that we hear, and some of the obvious ones like IRNSS, like space missions, like etc. So these kind of questions needs a broader broader mind. If you can relate the applications of any particular science and technology to various aspects of a country, a people, or the socio-economic quality of life, etc., you can definitely score marks. So have a broad-minded. Mains is not about deeper knowledge, it's about broader knowledge. So it's like master of nothing but jack of all. So I'm winding up the session. See you next time. Thank you.